Sure, sure.
Yeah.
And with that being said, let me ask you this.
Sure.
People out there are probably wondering, like, how can I expand my money? I'm making $40,000 a year, $60,000 a year or less.
Okay.
And my expenses are pretty high. And I'm trying to hold on to this job and find a way to kind of like edge out a little cash flow to start building up some type of investment portfolio.
Sure.
Do you have any advice?
Yeah, I have some advice. So I would have to start off with your age, right? How old you are. So take your age and multiply it by 1.5. That is the baseline amount of money that you should be earning per year. The very baseline, as if you're living in, Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina. Shout out to North Carolina. That's my hometown. But that is a very, very general baseline of how much you should be earning. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to factor in, how many hours a week are you working? If you know that your expenses are more than your active income, then you need to get your ass out there and work more hours.
So you advocate people working multiple jobs?
Multiple jobs, absolutely. It is necessary because the system is against us, and we have to find different avenues and different streams to generate passive income, because active income can only last but for so long. And like you had mentioned, right, in today's society, how many people can truly retire off of $2 million with health care expenses?
Very few.
Property taxes, groceries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say if you want to think about it on the average term, right, we need to not think about amount because we're going to all have different skills and be in different job markets. We need to more or less think about percentages. Let's think about percentages, because no matter if you're making 200 grand or you're making 20 grand or even in the midst 50, right? Average income for a male might be 45,000, I believe, 43,000.
That's the average income in
right.
America.
So let's think about it. You're not going to save as much money as the next level tier bracket, but what you can do is save the same percentages.
That's right.
So saving percentages gets you out of the mindset of I need X amount now, rather than now I'm building a habit.
So can I ask you something?
Now I'm building a habit.
Can I ask you something there, Paul? So is it fair to say to the general masses that it's not a matter of how much you make, but it's a matter of how much you manage to keep?
Yeah, it's how much you manage to keep, and then when you get good at managing the money that you've kept, you're going to want to make it work for you.
Multiply it, absolutely.
Make your money go to work. Just like you go to work every day, you slaving. Matter of fact, let's put that money to work.
Yeah.
Now that money's my slave,
Right.
So you know a lot of it is you don't want rent to be more than what, like 30% of your
monthly
your
income,
monthly
active income,
monthly liability, right? You don't want rent to take more than what, about 30% of what you're making.
Yes, sir.
You also want to go ahead and think of it like it's church. What did you do at church? Everyone passed around that ball and said, "Hey, pay your tithing, right?" Tithing normally was recommended to be 10%, right?
So and also the origins of tithing was also giving your crops. Just a quick fact out there.
That's
crops.
So
not so more of money, but crops.
So in this generation, in any generation, we want to acknowledge that we want to pay ourselves first. That means I'm investing in myself because I believe I can put this money to the right places that'll help it grow. So I personally save 15%. Of my paycheck. And that's not including my 401k that takes 15% of my income. So honestly, I'm starving myself before I see my money come to me. That money's already gone for the 401k. Then I save an excess 15%, 10 to 15 to the high yield savings. High yield savings. And even when you have a high yield savings going 4 5%, APY, you're still losing to inflation. So
which
once
is
I do
7% on an
7% up to 12% now, right? So what's to combat that? Now we have to allocate a certain percentage to long-term savings, which can be investing for retirement.
Right.
So investing is going to get you long-term gains.
That's right.
If you invest for 1 to 2 years, you're probably not going to see much return. Most likely.
It takes patience.
It takes patience. It takes 10 plus
That's why
15.
It's called investing. Investing is long term, but you have the so-called crypto gurus and stock market gurus out there giving you these quick money schemes, but in reality, it just doesn't work like that. All right? We're refined thinkers here. We spit nothing but the truth.
Yeah, we spit relatable, tangible things. Mm-hmm. You can watch this podcast and leave here with 1, 2, 3 pieces of nuggets and apply those now. Mm-hmm. I just told you could save 10% of your income, put that in a high yield savings. Matter of fact, go get you an Ally savings account right now. Get you 4.7.
What bank can you go to? Share that with them.
If you want a high yield savings, go get Ally. That's the one I use. I'm giving you tangible information. Ally savings will give you a high interest rate for a savings. You can put 10% of your income in that. Watch that grow. Try to save 3 to 6%. 3 to 6 months of your monthly income, monthly expenses. Once you get there, let's allocate some of your money to managed investments. If you're not a guru in picking out stocks, if you don't feel like you have potential, you want to do more research, that shouldn't stop you from investing.
Absolutely.
That should
at least doing your research.
Factuals. Mm-hmm. That should just limit you from choosing individual stocks and go ahead and get you an index fund. Go ahead, get you that portfolio of managed stocks already put in place for you. Go ahead, invest in something like the Vanguard Index. Do something that's been proven and reliable and put 5%, 10% in there too.
It's historically reliable.
It's historically going to grant you, 8% return?
So they say the stock market on an annual basis is going to grant you a minimum of a 12% return.
Right.
Annually.
So this is what I do. 10% high yield savings. Cool. Got that out the way. Paid myself first. 10% I'm going to put in my managed account. Cool. Got that out the way. Boom. Now, I've already invested for retirement with my 401k. That's 15%. Boom. Got that out the way.